Morning YouTube, part 2 of the pre-trip inspection. I'm going to do the in-cab inspection. Part 3 will be the air brake test. However, I am, like I said before, getting currently unloaded, so that would be a very bad idea. I'd probably lose my job because that would make the truck, don't want to risk the truck jerking forward, coming away from the dock. It's just all sorts of a bad idea. I also realized that I forgot to mention when I was doing the outside inspection under the hood to check the oil. You check it the same way you check it in the car. While moving around the engine and moving the camera, you'll also notice that the oil, there's a yellow thing and it says oil on it. You just pull that out and check the same way you check it in the car. Alright, we're going to do the in-cab inspection. Alright, the in-cab inspection, we must start with a safe start. Safe start meaning depress the clutch all the way to the ground. Make sure you're engaging that clutch brake. Make sure the gear shift is in neutral. Gear shift is in neutral. Once you do that, start engine and then release the clutch slowly. Release the clutch slowly. Alrighty. Hope y'all don't mind me playing a little bit of music in the background. I'll turn it down a tad bit, so you don't miss what I say. The clutch, properly mounted, not damaged. From the top of the clutch to the resistance is the free play. So basically where it's at right now, free play, alright? From the resistance all the way down is the working clutch. So just push it down. Basically, that's the working clutch. All the way to the floor is the clutch brake. Basically, the reason for that is the clutch brake is, I'll show you. The clutch brake will, if you listen, you try to put it in a gear, you hear it grinding, you hear the transmission spinning. What the clutch brake does is it stops it from spinning and allows you to put it in a gear. So basically you hear it, if you push it down, you hear it stop spinning and it'll go in. Listen. Now it's in the gear. You don't have to do that. Or you can do it, just hold it all the way down and then push it in. Another thing you do not want to do is while you're driving or shifting gears, do not push the clutch brake all the way to the ground. Do not do that. Only do it when you're coming from a stop and you want to start going. That is the only time you need to use the clutch brake and put it all the way to the ground and stop the transmission from spinning. Don't fuck your truck up. I mean, oh shoot, don't mess your truck up. Try and do better with the language. Alright? Gear shift, properly mounted, not damaged. Alright? Properly mounted, not damaged. Alright? Gear shift boot. Properly mounted, not damaged, secured to the floor to make sure that there's no kind of gases or anything leaking into the truck, the exhaust fumes. Oil pressure gauge. Alright? Once the truck has actually been heated, once you first turn the truck on and it's a cold start, it'll be way up here. You'll be like, whoa, that's wrong. It needs to be between 20 and 40, excuse me, it says 20 to 60, but it's 20 to 40 PSI. Alright? So basically where it's sitting at now, because I drove this morning, so it's nice and ready to go. Alright? Now after that, we'll go to the water temperature gauge. Properly mounted, not damaged, not broken, not missing. It needs to be between 160 to 210. It should be 150 to 210, but the paperwork says 160, but it's 150 to 210. The voltmeter, alright? It's underneath the mileage. So, as you see, it says 14.1 volts. Alright? Properly mounted and not damaged. The normal operating range for the voltmeter should be between 13 to 14 and a half volts. And it is currently reading 14.1. You need to say these numbers. So you need to say it is currently reading, etc., etc. Air pressure gauges. You have your primary and your secondary. primary, secondary. Alright? Speedometer. Properly mounted, not damaged, reads in miles per hour and kilometer per hour. You need to say this verbatim. The last time I drove the vehicle, it was functioning properly. Once you pull forward to do the brake test, you will say, you'll pull forward and go maybe 2 to 5 miles an hour, and you will say, as you can see, it is reading by current speed, and it works as it should. All right. You need to make sure the ABS light is not on, but when you first turn the truck on, it does light up. As you can see, the ABS right there at the top above the brake. I'll do it again. Right where my finger is pointing, it lights up. This daggone sun is just completely ruining the quality of my video. Alright, now you need to do the light indicators. I'll turn my headlights on so it'll be easier to see. Alright. The sun is bright. I'm really trying not to mess up this video quality. Alright. Light indicators. Left turn signal works. Right turn signal works. High beam indicator right there, the blue one in the middle, works. You'll also do the four ways. They work. After such, you will do the seat belt, safety belt. Properly mounted, not damaged, adjusted to the driver, and no frays or cuts. Anybody knows how to put on a seatbelt, so I don't need to flip the camera around to do that. If you don't know how to put a seatbelt on, you might want to consider a career outside of truck driving. Steering wheel play. What you should do is you'll take the steering wheel. I'm gonna roll down the window. You have to take the steering wheel, roll it all the way to the left. At such point, I'm gonna turn all the way to the left. At such point, you turn the steering wheel all the way to the left and then release. You'll look out the driver's side of the window. Alright? Move out the driver's side of the window. Alright? And at that point, you'll start making turns, moving the wheel back and forward.
Alright, bro.
How you doing, man? Making a video for YouTube. Move the steering wheel back and forward. Making the movement smaller and smaller and smaller up until the steering wheel, you have a little bit of free play in the steering wheel and the tire is actually not turning. At that point, you'll see that the steering wheel does not move that much. Alright, you need to say that the steering wheel movement that remains is the amount of free play in the steering wheel linkage. And on a 20-inch steering wheel, it must be 2 inches or less to be compliant. Alright, 10 degrees or 2 inches or less. You need to say that. Horns, you will sound the city horn. Works as it should. Then you will do these, the big old horn that everybody loves, that the little kids love to hear the truck drivers do. That is working as it properly should. Mirrors, properly mounted, not damaged, clean, and properly adjusted. Mirrors, properly mounted, not damaged, clean, and properly adjusted on both sides. Windshield wipers, alright? Clean your windshields. They work as they should. Properly mounted, not damaged, cleaning as it should. Alright? Heater and defroster. Right now it's hotter than 2 rats screwing in a wool sock out here in South Carolina, so I'm not going to turn the heat on. But basically what you would do is turn it all the way. Alright? Defroster is working. You feel both. It works as it should. You also mention your safety equipment, i.e. your fire extinguisher and the reflective triangles. Alright, they're required to be in the vehicle at all times. And while you're doing the outside portion of the truck, you don't need to show them, but you do need to mention it when you get to the safety compartment on the side of the truck. Alright, you need to say you must have a fully charged 10-pound ABC fire extinguisher mounted next to the driver door, 3 reflective triangles in the side box, and if the vehicle requires them, spare fuses. And you need to say this: if my vehicle requires spare fuses, I will have them, but For rail, our trucks are run off circuit breakers and not spare fuses. So that's the in cab. Very short, very sweet, a lot easier to do than the outside. All right, I will do the air brake portion later on and go from there.